Time. So much can happen in short periods of it. It's the nature of the industry. Now, it's been months since my visit to the Bishop's Stortford Brewery, and there have been some great changes for Darren. If you've seen Chapter 2 of Beeriod, you already know a little about Darren. He, like other micro brewery owners and brewers, is working every hour under the sun, putting everything he has into his craft. It's a long, hard road, but with persistence, you can actually start to get somewhere. During Chapter 2, I was fortunate enough to try some of Darren's beautiful Stortford Citra. Even in its young state, it was a divine beer that was definitely destined for bigger things. And now, I'm glad to see it's getting the recognition it deserves. Stortford Citra was recently voted Hertfordshire Beer of the Year at the St Albans Beer Festival. I am so happy for Darren, as I know that not only does he deserve it after all the hard work he's put into the brewery, but also because I know it will be the first of many he shall receive throughout his brewing career. So, congrats Darren. I'm proud of you, buddy, and I look forward to catching up with you in another chapter of Beeriod to see the next accolades that come your way. Take us through the process, how you get from being in here to being in the cask.
Yeah, that's not a problem, day before, fill this up with water or liquor, as brewers like the term, a nice confusing thing. Water goes in, up to the top, switch the heating element on, and then go home basically. The next day, nice and early, that should be at 80 degrees, so I run a portion of that into here depending how much grain I'm using. Roughly, normally up to about that level. In there, this is basically just a big sieve. So, water up to the top, add salt, so treat the water, chuck in the malt bodily, and then give it a damn good stir with that lovely big paddle up there. The action of doing that and getting it to the right temperature. Yeah. Right, it's alright. Right, so yeah, give it a good stir with that. Shut the lid, and hopefully, if I've got my temperatures right, that should be 66 degrees for an hour and a half. And in that time, all these sugars are getting broken down in the malt, and yeah, you get a really, really sweet liquid after that called wort, and your colours basically. So after that, straight away, out we come from here to the copper or boiler, whatever you want to call it. And at the same time as I'm running through into here where everything's going to get boiled up, I'm trying to create an equilibrium by sparging. Sparging is basically rinsing the grains in there, so a hose is going from there up to the top into a shower, which is showering the grains, and at the same time adding the same amount of water that's kind of going around in a cycle, so water in, beer out basically. Everything's going in here, all that nice sweet sugary wort, and hopefully if everything's gone right, fill that up roughly to about here. Once the heating elements are covered, switch those on and get things boiling. And depending what beer I'm making, add the hops at various stages for flavour, aroma, bitterness.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff, all the stuff you want basically.
Yeah.
And again, after an hour and a half, turn that off. And one thing that I like to do is leave the beer in there for half an hour or so, just when it's all nice and warm. That's taking more hop flavour out, so if I added later hops, that's giving more flavour impact basically. Do that, and then from there into one of these babies, lovely big shiny fermenters. The beer's got to be cooled, so it passes through a heat exchanger. So cold water's going in one side of this exchange, which is over there, and then warm beer is coming in the other side, so they kind of pass in the night, and you get warm water out one way, cold beer in the other way. So cool. Bash that in there, hopefully get that to around 25 degrees or so, and it's safe to pitch your yeast, because any higher than that, around 30 degrees area will kill the yeast and stun it, and you won't get a good fermentation. Whereas at 25 degrees, that'll make you a nice fruity beer, which I like. And in it goes, and I leave that in there for 7 days. Sometimes, depending on what beer I've got, when the alcohol's been made, adding hops or something like that. And then yeah, after 7 days, out of that boy there, in the hose, many barrels left out here, and fill them up basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.